Let's do it live.
Thing sucks. We'll do it live. Okay.
Cruising whiskey. Get in, sit down, buckle up. Cruising whiskey. Get in, sit down, buckle up. Cruising whiskey.
Hey guys, it's another episode of Cruising with Steak. Here we are. We're back. Tuesday night.
Is that a moment of silence for Bush?
Oh yeah, exactly. And then we're gonna do a 30-gun salute, so everybody start shooting into your mics right now.
We could have a five cum alert.
Oh, the world is a better place now without that, man. But we'll get into that later. I just let's welcome everybody to the show. We got James Cruz. I think he's got a cloak of invisibility on right now, so we'll skip him for the moment. We also got Jerry Cthulhu here.
Hello.
We have Mr. Cliff Wall, Sir Felix Ortega. Hi. And we got Mr. Leonidas, King Leonidas himself. There it is. Yeah.
You should get a real Scooby-Doo doing that.
Oh, the Scooby-Doo one? Oh, and I see James.
Tim Allen.
Well, that's what it's from.
We could, and James just took his cloak of invisibility off. James, welcome to the show. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, what's up, peeps?
Welcome to your show.
Yeah, well,
I'm having,
Your show of shows.
same old, dude. Technical difficulties.
it's always something.
Sounds
That's
That's called kids and you're
yeah, man.
No, man,
it's
I
married
jumped.
life.
Yeah, like 5 minutes ago, dude. I just dumped a whole freaking thing of water directly in front of me, all over the keyboard. It went between these two little tables I have. Started leaking down on top of the PC and everything, dude. I'm like, oh, this is epic fail.
Did it stop working?
Oh, well, I'm live, so.
Heck yeah.
So far, so good.
Heck
I
yeah,
mean,
we're
I
live.
went and rushed and I grabbed towels and stuff. I got it all kind of situated
Those
here.
cheesy plastic keyboards, you could get them wet for the most part. And
Yeah,
not really.
it's a basic little Windows keyboard. It weighs like a half ounce, you know. So I just
It's a grady keyboard.
Type something in the chat on the sidebar, see if it works.
I got this other keyboard now. I got my old one. I just plugged in. So
So is this a year in review episode?
Oh no, we still got
3 more
episodes.
weeks till that shit.
Heck yeah.
New
Which,
Year's Eve.
speaking,
right?
our live night Tuesday night, it falls on Christmas. Dun dun dun.
So New Year's Day does too.
I mean, I'll be around, dude.
I mean, I don't care. I'll monologue. I'll drunkenly monologue
I'll
all
be
night if I
around,
have to.
And I have no life, and we'll be at home.
There we
alone.
go. So there we go. Cruising with
I'll
Steak's
sing
gonna be
that.
live on Christmas.
I'll sing Jingle Bells live.
That's nasty.
Jesus. Slay.
So yeah, guys, George Bush Sr. died. Let's all have a moment of silence. No, let's not do
We
that.
already had it.
Yeah, we did. And it's a whole day of grieving tomorrow. Post offices are closed. Everything's closed up. Trump's probably going to get
Standard operating
assassinated.
procedure.
I was expecting some cool shit tomorrow.
I think there might be. There's still time. We
In the
could
mail.
expect something.
In the mail. I don't mean.
Oh yeah, because you can't get it now. It's BS. Yeah.
Wasn't George Bush
He's up
Senior? Wasn't he the first one to mention the NWO?
Oh, absolutely.
Not
It
the
seems like
first.
Well, I have a quote here from him, February 18th, 1991.
Let's hear it.
It is a big idea, a new world order where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause. Only the United States has both the moral standing and the means to back it up.
Wow.
George Bush, in his State of the Union address, Los Angeles Times, February 18th, 1991.
We have
He
before
might have
us
been the
the
first one to put it into
opportunity
a
to
speech, but it
forge
was
for
definitely
ourselves
a
and for
thing that
future
was written
generations.
about, especially by like Zygmunt Brzezinski.
Zygmunt Brzezinski?
Brzezinski.
I found an awesome article.
Brzezinski's late father.
Who's that?
She's the co-host of Morning Joe on MSNBC.
Ah,
Mika. Yeah, she's a skank.
She just married Joe. Scarborough. I think
Mika and Joe.
Did he divorce his wife to marry her? I think?
Probably.
Yeah.
oh.
And he was having an affair with one of his staffers when he was a congressman too, allegedly. He's a player.
Yeah, that sounds about right. When you hit that kind of status, you know, some guys just don't know how to handle the power.
And you're that ugly.
Yeah, you know, it's like you've never just get it while you can.
Yeah, he's goofy looking. He's got a big forehead. I don't want to talk bad about him. Anyway. Yeah, so Bush is dead. They're making a movie about Cheney.
They're making a movie about Cheney? Thank God.
I saw the preview.
About time.
It's called, what, Vice, I think, or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, God.
So now, you know, the history of Cheney will be written
So
by
we're
this.
just
Dude, they
glory.
even have oh sorry, but if you look at the trailer of that, they even have the part where he shoots
That hunter?
Do it in the face.
yeah, in the face, and they're all like making light of it and shit, and like kind of joking around, like, oh shit, yeah, like his wife's there and stuff, dude. It's crazy. Yeah.
So they're glorifying
guy?
these neocon war criminals.
Wasn't there a Saturday Night Live spoof on that with a similar kind of thing? Like they were all joking about it?
Might
He
have
was
been.
like Elmer Fudd or something.
Oh,
No, it wasn't Elmer Fudd.
Well, they were all laughs and giggles when he in the preview. If anybody wants to, just go to your video playing devices and punch in that trailer, and you'll see.
And play
Does
that
Roseanne's
video.
TV husband play him?
John Goodman?
Goodman?
I don't
Oh.
I don't know.
Don't know. I don't think so.
Do you know that the country club, if I remember correctly, the country club that dude got shot in the face at, the country club they're at, is the same place where Scalia died.
Jeez.
Jesus.
It's like a vortex of neocon.
Yeah, dude, there's just scum.
It's where
Bloodthirsty
the
scum.
people who don't play ball go to die.
Is it Texas?
Yeah.
Nexus of Texas?
Something.
Well, here, let's play this little. I'm going to play this little
you
audio
got
clip real
something
quick. Yeah.
Have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations
We're live
a
on
new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle,
They would know
governs
that.
the conduct
That
of
we are.
nations. When we are successful, and we
No,
will
if
be,
it goes on the replay, on
we
the
have a
podcast.
real
The name of
chance
the
at
place
this new
where
world order.
Scalia died
An
was
order
called
in
the
which a
Shafter,
credible United
Texas.
Nations can use its
Of course it was.
peacekeeping role to fulfill the
Get her done.
Were you guys not hearing that at all?
Nothing. Heard nothing.
Oh, I wonder if it went out to this.
Nada.
Oh,
I think your audio
You
has
know
hit that
what?
other
button.
cloak on. Did you
you
hit
know
record?
what?
He did.
I think we're okay now. We might be okay now. I had the totally wrong setting on my mic for Zoom to come out to you guys. So that probably went out to them, but you guys didn't hear it.
Oh, exciting. So we're
Yeah.
talking over it and shit.
Yeah, but that's cool. You know what's-
Frickin' believable.
Yeah, we're not going to replay
Believe
it.
it.
It was just the Bush New World Order speech. We've all heard it. Haven't heard any of the grunts.
Oh, I had something else loaded up. I didn't have. I'm loading up my board now too.
Oh, nice. We need that Chinese guy.
Oh, all that good stuff. I found a new board, another one. I'm loving this stuff. Yeah.
Do you have any Pauly Shore sound bites?
The Weasel?
You know, that's a good question. I'm sure I have it. Anyway, I mean, as I'm looking that up too, but I really wanted to go over this real quick. This was an awesome article I found about Bush, and it was in Rolling Stone in 1988. It's called "The Dirty Secrets of George Bush."
Ooh.
The vice president's illegal operations.
The Dirty
So-
Sanchez of?
Yeah, actually, there is a Sanchez. I'm pretty sure in this. during the most violent years of the war in Nicaragua, a retired CIA agent, a man of many talents, pseudonyms, right? Yeah. Who was given the name Felix Rodriguez. So not Sanchez, Rodriguez. Same old. Yeah. Was the logistics officer for our airlifts of weapons and supplies from Inglopar Air Base in El Salvador to the jungle hideouts of Nicaragua rebels known as Contras. This is the Iran-Contra thing, basically. And so in October 5th of 1986, one of Rodriguez's cargo planes, a Southern Air Transporter C-123K, loaded with 10,000 pounds of ammunition, failed to return from a scheduled drop in Nicaragua. Fearing the worst, Rodriguez made a series of phone calls to Washington that evening. What was unusual was that Rodriguez did not notify anyone at the Defense Department or the CIA, but rather attempted to get word about the missing plane to Donald Gregg, the National Security Advisor and Vice President of George Bush. When Rodriguez failed to reach Gregg, he telephoned Gregg's deputy, Army Colonel Samuel Watson. Watson relayed the information to the White House at the Situation Room, and then was given an order to send U.S. aircraft toward the Nicaraguan border in search for and rescue mission. The following morning, Rodriguez learned that the Sandinista government artillerymen had knocked down the Southern airplane out of the sky, killing the pilot and co-pilot. The third crewman, Eugene Hasenfuss, had been captured. Again, Rodriguez called Vice President Bush office with the news, and then search and rescue mission was called off. The subsequent investigation of the downed cargo plane revealed for the first time a connection between the office of George Bush and a clandestine company to arm the Contras. During 1984 to 1986 period, when the U.S. Congress had ordered a halt to CIA and Pentagon aid in response to reports and queries. However, but Bush's press officers issued statements claiming that the phone calls from Rodriguez. Yeah, I'm reading this, dude. So hold on.
No, go for it. You're doing a great job, James.
Yes. Rodriguez represented. In response to, so Bush's press officers issued statements claiming that the phone calls from Rodriguez represented the only time that the vice president's office had played any role in the arms and supply campaign. Later, Gregg extended on the official denials and the deposit of the Joint Select Committee investigation, the Iran-Contra affair. We, Bush and Gregg, never disclosed the Contras. Gregg testified, we had no responsibility for it. We had no expertise in it. So an investigation, however, has found that the denials of Bush and Gregg are part of the continuing cover-up intended to hide the true role of Reagan's administration's secret war against the Sandinista government of Nicaragua. Bush and Gregg were, in fact, deeply involved in a previous undisclosed weapons smuggling operation to arm the Contras that began in 1982, 2 years before the publicized Iran-Contra operation run by Marine Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North. Most of us here might know that. Oh, my God. And financed by my phone was ringing right when I'm reading that, dude.
The CIA.
Yeah, well, financed by the sales. Okay, run by Marine Colonel Oliver North and financed by the sale of missiles to Iran. This earlier operation was known as Black Eagle. Went on for 3 years, overlapping North's operation. The idea of both operations was to circumvent congressional restrictions on the CIA and the Pentagon, although conceived by William Casey, that the CIA director these operations were not sanctioned by the CIA or any other government agencies. They were instruments of a CIA U.S. foreign policy carried out by men who constituted a kind of shadow government. Dun, dun, dun. After meetings with Casey in the summer of 1982, Bush agreed to use the vice president's office as a cover-up for Black Eagle. According to retired Army covert operations assigned to Black Eagle, Greg, a veteran of the CIA, was assigned to work out of Bush's office as the Washington liaison to Black Eagle operatives in Central America. Coordinating financial and operational details, Greg made regular status reports on Black Eagle to Bush, who relayed them to Casey. Bush and Greg were the asbestos wall, says the military man who used the code name Lou Archer. You had to burn through them to get to Casey. Felix Rodriguez, a close friend of Greg since 1970, when they served in Vietnam, he had a unique role, soldier statesman role in the Black Eagle operation. He had not only handled aircraft logistics for arms airlifts to Contra, but also traveled throughout Central America as a special envoy authorized to negotiate with military commanders and even chiefs of state. Based on congressional and court documents and more than 50 interviews with government diplomats, career military officers, and intelligence agencies, including the Black Eagle operations, as founded by the, General Manuel Noriega, the Panamanian director, indicated that the U.S. on drug charges earlier this year, which is 1988. Played an important part in Black Eagle, making available his country's airfields and front companies to American operatives. In exchange, Noriega appropriated Black Eagle's fleet of cargo planes to smuggle cocaine and marijuana into the U.S. on behalf of the notorious Medellin cartel of Colombia. Several of those involved with the operation contended that Bush and Greg knew about Noriega's use of the Black Eagle for drug running, and nothing was done to stop it. Noriega had been brought into the Black Eagle operations agents of Mossad and the Israel Intelligence Service. It had been Casey's idea to use the Israelis to arrange the acquisition and shipping of weapons to the Contras as a way of distancing American officials and agents from the Black Eagle operation. The Mossad provided cover and gave American operatives plausible deniability. In 1985, after falling out and near gunfight between Israel and American operatives, the Black Eagle operation came to an end. By this time, North's operation, known as the Enterprise, and a third one, which is called the Supermarket, had been set up. The Supermarket smuggled weapons to the Contras for about 10 months in 1985 until North consolidated his powers into the shadow government and forced the operation out of business. North's own enterprise remained in business with Rodriguez and logistics officer. In 1981, the White House, when Casey laid out his plans to launch a secret war against the Sandinistas. Let me see if there's anything. So, dude, they ran drug. The whole Iran-Contra thing was just...
I got a nice synchro.
Yeah.
Before you even read that, I was going to bring up an article from 1988.
Wow.
December 5th. This was reported by U.S. News and World Report. Communicating with the dead. The U.S. military and CIA have occasionally used psychics to spy on Soviet weaponry in general. Manuel Noriega.
Yeah, same guy. Yeah.
You were just talking about.
Yeah.
In addition to seeking help in this world, some legislators, congressional aides, and government officials have sought spiritual guidance. Senator Claiborne Pell, chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, notes that he has sought to communicate with dead relatives.
Oh, man.
So that was December 5th, 1988.
So that same guy was doing that?
Well, they were using it. They were using psychics to spy.
To spy on Russia? Dude, that's crazy. Wasn't Barbara Bush all into well, she was into like astrology and stuff. I'm almost positive, or maybe that was one of the Bush's wives. I don't think it was Reagan. Maybe it was Nancy. I can't. God, all these women in politics have deep-seated roots to some pretty crazy stuff.
Heck yeah, they do.
Being alongside these folks, man. Oh my God. I don't know. I mean, let's see.
Jeb Bush won last year.
Could you? Oh my
It'd
God.
be the same thing.
Remember when they carted out Kennedy, that Kennedy guy? Like right after the what row was it? Right? Might have been right before the election.
We could talk about the Highway of Death.
Oh yeah,
During
probably the worst massacre ever.
Yeah, dude, the Persian Gulf War.
Yeah, you got anything on that? Yeah, I mean, I didn't bring that up, but
basically
I know
it was a bunch of Iraqi soldiers were fleeing and retreated, and they're running away from Kuwait with a shitload of civilians with them and other people, and the road got bottlenecked. And they basically, like, Bush ordered them to just wipe them all out. Like, they went with helicopters. Like, they weren't even able to count the death toll. So many cars, like, along a whole, like, just miles, just fucking melted cars. They bombed them all with incendiary bombs. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
I mean, Bush, dude, all these guys, they're all in the, I mean, that story I was just reading, I mean, it's so deep and crazy. Like, and now this day and age, when you try to when you're thinking you're on to something, you're way off.
Well, here's another. So what on that article you read, 1988? What was the specific day? Because I have another article here from December 5th, 1988.
This would have been. I'll tell you in one sec.
The Twilight Zone in Washington was the headline.
This was November 3rd, 1988.
Yeah, so back then, like December 5th, 1988. U.S. News and World Report, the Twilight Zone in Washington. It turns out that Nancy Reagan has plenty of good company. There is extensive interest in psychic phenomena.
Yeah, okay.
In Washington. At any given time, about 1/4 of the members of Congress are actively interested in PSI, that being healing, prophecy, remote viewing, or physical manifestation of psychic powers such as bending spoons or erasing computer tapes. According to Representative Charlie Rose, DNC, who founded the Congressional Clearinghouse on the Future, a forum that has given some psychics a platform in the Capitol.
The disgraced Charlie Rose.
Yeah. Sources say that the Capitol's many PSI individuals satisfy their curiosity in the Erie Zone by privately consulting with seers and discussing the subject with like-minded colleagues. So that's interesting.
Damn.
By the way, this is from a book I've had since I was 15 years old.
Jesus.
It's called What's Behind the New World Order?
Behind the New World Order.
Oh, man. So, yeah. We got that out of the way.
I mean, the saddest part was his service dog laying in front of his casket.
That's complete bullshit.
Oh, man.
So that service dog, Sully, is basically on loan from the VA.
Okay.
Only been with Bush for 6 months. The whole thing was orchestrated to...
Here, lay down here, boy.
Exactly. They staged all the photos. They brought the dog and made it out like it was like this lifelong pal of Pappy Bush. But no, it's not. He didn't give a shit.
Bush.
In fact, the dog is now already somewhere else. And W said yesterday or today that dog is going to be with the family forever.
Forever. Probably if they feed it the baby's blood.
It's already fucking gone. He has no clue. They weren't even, the kids weren't even with him when he died. They were all on the phone. They were too fucking busy to come, be with their dad when he died. What's up with that?
Hey, who made that meme about
What the fuck was that?
Jeb Bush.
dropping the
Bear.
coffin. That was hilarious. I posted that on Twitter the day he died with like a hashtag too soon.
Boom
Boom goes the dynamite.
There it is.
If Barbara was alive, she would have laughed at it.
Well, he's a diddler though. Like the whole Franklin scandal thing. Like that was some crazy shit going on with like
Usually
call boys.
in the elite families, if you got one, you got 100.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You built the animal. No way. You built the animal.
It's the ether. I don't know a lot about that whole vampire stuff. I know it's a thing. Yeah, but it's the ether of all about vampires.
Oh yeah, we do know all about vampires now. It's getting
That's
pretty
right.
serious.
Yeah.
After you cut your chest open and I licked blood out of you and nothing
Podcast
happened.
is slowly devolving into a morning zoo format.
Of course.
Devolving or evolving, because I'm liking where this show's been going.
Oh man.
I'm loving where this show's going. It's evolved into something great, man. We're just hanging out.
It is. It really is.
Hey, we got somebody coming on, hanging out with us next week.
That's true. Yeah.
James, you want to make that announcement?
Yeah, I mean, I'll Denver Michaels, man, is coming on.
Cool. I never met that dude.
Yeah, he's a cryptid researcher. He's out of like West Virginia area.
Yeah, I think he was like on episode.
East Coast cryptid researcher.
Oh, definitely.
Cryptid Con.
I wish
that
he
is
was there. It
correct.
would have been awesome.
Dude, I want to get him there this year. I tweeted
Yeah.
at CryptidCon to get him there. But yeah, man, that'd be pretty cool.
Josh Cutchin is organizing or help organizing Paramania, which is here in Atlanta.
Oh yeah. Paramania's that might have to happen.
Yeah, I'll be there.
What's going on in Atlanta?
Right now, it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
It's like 30 degrees or something.
Wonder if you'll get any freak snowstorms like last year, Jer, where it just knocks the whole city out of commission.
I'm sure. Yeah, locks me in my subdivision for a week. It's 32 degrees right now.
Oh man, global warming.
That's
So
like
there's-
child's play.
So there's a supermoon blood moon next month, guys.
I know.
And
On the 21st,
there was
on the 21st,
dude,
right?
there was just one this year too, and I guess like it's a very rare occurrence for them to happen this close together.
There were 4 last year or the year before.
Isn't
Oh, there's tons of them. What's going on?
Wait, before I forget. I heard someone on, I forget who it was, talking about how this blood moon is the other end of the 2012.
Oh, like it's closing the door. So we made it through
Yeah.
the cycle of insanity, and then things will
Kinda.
maybe. I can see that.
That'll be nice.
Yeah,
It'd
it'd be,
change.
be cool.
No,
for
we're
us.
just being-
if the door's closing and we're still behind it, it's not going to be that.
We're just slowly being sucked
Yeah.
into a black hole. We just don't know it.
Yeah, honestly, we could
possible.
be. We would have no idea.
They could project anything onto the
And
camera.
tomorrow isn't tomorrow the last day of the retro Mercury?
Oh, I'm
Is
not
it,
sure.
is it a Gatorade going on?
Yeah,
tomorrow
Gatorade's been going on for a little bit.
I think
It'll be
tomorrow
like,
or the 6th is the last day.
No wonder my nuts hurt.
It'll be like Indiana Jones, where like the temple walls are closing.
And someone reaches into your chest and pulls your heart out.
grabs his hat or his whip. He grabs his hat with his whip.
And his whip.
That's not relatable at all to what we're talking about.
Well, you're talking about the cycles and the moon, second moon, and then it's going to be closing this 2012.
Yeah, but what if it was an escape hatch?
Not sure.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you what is closing is the Hadron Collider.
Toys R
Really?
Us.
Really?
Yep,
Why?
they've closed it.
No
Bullshit.
shit.
Is it
Shutting down for 2 years. It says this is according to Science News
Isn't it?
magazine. The world's most powerful particle accelerator has gone quiet.
Really?
Particles took the last spin around the large
Yeah, that
Hadron
thing's
Collider on December 3rd.
That thing's been running its mouth too much. I'm glad it's quiet.
For science.
The kaleidoscope.
Yeah, he's just running his mouth all the time.
Are you sure they're talking about this year?
Yeah, it's already shut down.
Wow.
Was that in the Onion?
Yesterday it shut down.
I don't see any. No news
Peel
about
back the
it at
layers.
all. None whatsoever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I got it up right here.
Yeah. Whip it out.
For,
Let me see.
Yesterday.
Well, doesn't China have like a bigger one that they're in the works? Like one
I
that's
was
like
just
twice
gonna
the size? Yeah, China's building a
country
huge
does.
one.
Well, they're closing it down for upgrades, according to them.
Yeah. So okay, I found it. Shut it
It's
down for
always
2 years. Well, they did that in like 2010.
Well, they say the upgrade will be ready by 2026 and will increase the rate of proton smash ups by at least a factor of 5.
Oh, great.
Are they getting Windows 10?
They're upgrading to Windows 10. It's gonna take 2 years.
Good idea.
But 2026, 2020, that doesn't matter. It's interesting that CERN, they were offline, they came online in 2012, December of 2012. Or it's when they did some big test. And then now they're shutting down. And like I said, that person
and the blood
said,
moon, yeah. It's
the
like almost
blood
like
moon, I
what
wonder
if
if there's blood moon on any other CERN.
Oh yeah, I wonder if CERN was just here to stabilize what could have happened. Maybe it was
invading. I've heard other people say that it wasn't here, and like a Mandela effect, it just appeared.
CERN?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
dude, that is kind of weird because that's something that they were building for. They had to be building for a long time, and then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, here's this huge hadron collider.
They were building it for a long time. CERN's been around for years, years and years and years, since like the 70s. It's basically the European DARPA, public facing. They invented
the Shiva statue.
There's a guy there named Berners-Lee, Tim Berners-Lee. He invented the HTTP protocol that the internet uses.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a little fun fact.
Yeah. And you'll hear people say that he invented the internet, not true, or the web, and he didn't. He invented the protocol that allowed the web. It was his vision, yes, but he didn't invent it. He didn't have anything to do with the hardware or the growth of the internet. It was just
right.
You know,
well, didn't it just start off as like a bunch of servers and a bunch of different scientists sharing information? Like that was the way to get it to
right within CERN. They were using it.
Oh, okay.
So, and they set up a web server, and it just served text. There used to be a text browser called Lynx. You could still get it. It's LYNX, and it's a text HTML browser. And then a couple of guys down at University of Illinois created a visual one for Windows, because Windows 3.1 came out around that time too. It was like all these things lined up to happen where these guys could write this app. They actually wrote it for Unix first, so I should shut up. But Windows, it was called Mosaic, and it became it was the core of what became Netscape.
Oh, okay. I remember Netscape. It was great, good times.
Oh, I used to love Netscape.
Yeah, and then they got bought by AOL, I think. And Mark Andreessen, the founder, the guy who wrote Netscape personally, has like $1 billion tech fund right now.
You guys remember when we used to see commercials for like search engines, like Lycos, web crawler, Yahoo. What a crazy time that was.
There's a
.com boom.
There's a website out there that actually just plays looped like 80s and 90s commercials.
Oh, it's gotta be a great website.
Do you remember that movie Demolition Man, where they played like short versions of the jingles as pop music?
No.
Like the Campbell Soup song, you know, like or I can't think of a good song right now. If you can think of a jingle that you could sing and just sing a little faster and more like poppy, but only one verse and it'd be over, you know.
Man,
and they call them blippers or something like that. There was, you don't remember that?
Blimpies.
The 80s and 90s were just they were prime for those jingles though. Like that was mind controlled to the max.
You know what I noticed lately is that looking at stuff that was made in the 80s, it looks so old. Like the cars, it looks like the 70s now.
You test your products.
What
did you guys? I was on Twitter once, and there was someone brought back there's like a George Costanza McDonald's commercial, and there's like a whole
where he sings and dances
coffee song.
Yeah,
he sings about maybe some ingredients to one of the like the Big Mac or something, but it's pretty full blown 90s cheesy video.
Yeah, it
and
was.
the song pretty catchy and kind of funny.
It's pretty good. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Costanza.
Hey,
stand
you say you're getting tired of lettuce and tomato hamburgers in this town that don't quite make it? Yeah! You say that just once you'd like your hamburger hot and your lettuce and tomato cool and crisp all at the same time? Yeah! Well, I say you got it. I'm talking McDonald's new lettuce and tomato hamburger, the McDLT. I'm talking quarter pound of beef on the hot side.
And the hot stays hot.
The new McDLT.
Hot, hot.
Crisp lettuce and tomato on the cool side.
And the cool stays cool.
The new McDLT.
Cool crisp.
The beef stays hot, the cool stays crisp. Put it together, you can't resist. The hottest taste, the coolest dish.
Keep it hot, hot. Keep it cool, cool. McDLT, McDLT. Hot beefy McD. Cool crisp LT. McD.
It's a good time.
Wow. Hot beefy McD.
For the great taste.
Cool crisp LT.
It never looks like that shit.
Could be the best
No.
tasting lettuce and tomato hamburger ever.
New McD. LT.
Oh, that was great. It's a brilliant idea, though.
Say you're getting tired.
It's brilliant because I mean, you
DLT?
separate
Oh,
the McDLT. They separate the lid, but at the top the ingredients from the burger, so you put it together yourself. It's brilliant.
That's
Lettuce
retarded.
doesn't
That
go
reminds me
wrong.
of like muffin top, the whole muffin top thing that was going on then.
It's a lesson in thermodynamics.
It's
Pretty much.
laziness.
It's thermodynamics.
You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
I don't know about the McDonald's where you're at, but here they have self-serving kiosks. You just put your order in, and
Yeah, right.
even when you do that, they still get the order wrong when they bring it out.
The less people they have to pay, the better.
I feel like those are gross. Either they're like touch screens and people are like scratching their butts and ordering their Big Macs and using.
What do you
the
think
touch
they
screen.
do to the soda machine?
No, they got an anti-germ
That,
coating
that
on it.
thing's
The,
clean.
the one pipe that comes out of the multi-flavor blender thing.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Just soda water and sugar mixes in. Yeah.
Like 500 tubes of syrup coming in the back. It looks like
Man.
an octopus.
My a lot of movie theaters have that way now too, where you go and get your own shit. They just give you a cup.
Oh,
I haven't been
dude.
to a theater in almost 8 years.
I knew a couple of movies
B Steak just dropped a link in the chats about Burger King is offering a 1-cent Whopper,
I do love the taste of a
But-
good burger.
but there's a catch. You could get a 1-cent Whopper, but you have to be at McDonald's while using the Burger King app to order it. Oh man!
No problem.
So there's turf wars now.
Hamburger.
You have to.
This is a tasty burger.
James, Jesus.
Whose burger is it? Is it a nothing burger?
You ever had a big kahuna burger?
You get a Whopper for a penny if you order it with the Burger King app from within McDonald's.
Yes, there you go. You
What
nailed
is
it
the
exactly,
owner
Jake.
of it?
With
Is that just a
proof.
one-time deal, or is that like every time?
I don't
I
know.
assume you need proof or to have to take a picture
So
or
there's
something
gotta
of
be-
your order.
There's got to be some kind of.
Oh, just be
It's some
GPS.
serious gourmet shit.
It could be some serious commission.
What's the point?
I don't know. Turf wars,
Felix, you
burger
never
wars.
saw Pulp Fiction?
Is it just to stick it into the face of McDonald's?
I think so.
Rub it in their
I
face?
think so.
Aren't they owned by the same company?
Probably.
Aren't they
I'm
owned
sure
by the
they-
same reptilian overlord?
Far enough down the line, I'm sure
Say
they are.
what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
What?
What?
I bit the wrong one, but that was a good one.
Is that Samuel Jackson?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
You should count how many times he says the F word in that movie and get back to me.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
You should see how unwatchable that movie is today.
Really? Yeah.
Like cringy.
No, it's just not good anymore. I don't know.
Fiction?
I don't
Yeah, I know. It's just so. Oh,
It lost its luster somehow.
yeah.
That's weird.
It's been a while since I've rewatched
I was
it.
watching something, and it was Doctor Who, and a British old guy quoted that Bible, that Ezekiel quote, you know, I will strike thee down. You know, that whole thing. And as he was getting into the TARDIS.
Ezekiel 25:17.
Exactly. and and the alien he was telling it to said, Ezekiel 25:17. And he goes, no, Tarantino. He walks into the TARDIS and takes off.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
You can tell it's a demon who said that just by the words.
Is Ezekiel the one where there's the UFO and it's like the spinning wheels with eyes on the wheels?
That's a lie.
That's Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, the wheel inside a wheel.
You're the evil
wheel inside
man,
the wheels with eyes,
and I'm the righteous man.
I thought Enoch saw that too, but I don't know. I'm not a Bible dude.
Ezekiel,
which reminds me, I was wrong last week about the person who came up with Gilligan's Island, and I want to correct my mistake.
Need to edit, yeah.
So instead, it was not Sidney Sheldon. And everything I said about Sidney Sheldon is true, except I never spoke with him. I spoke with Sherwood Schwartz.
Schwartz.
He was the guy, creator. That's who I met. I never met Sidney Sheldon. So the double S's, you know, Sidney Sheldon, Sherwood Schwartz. Just screwed me.
Easy mistake.
They're next to each other in my list, in my head.
Okay, here's Ezekiel 1. You ready? Ezekiel 1. I looked and I saw a windstorm coming out of the north, an immense cloud with flashing lightning and surrounded by brilliant light. The center of the fire looked like glowing metal, and in the fire was what looked like 4 living creatures. In appearance, their form was human, but each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were straight, their feet were like those of a calf and gleamed like burnished bronze. Under their wings, on the 4 sides, they had human hands. All 4 of them had faces and wings. And the wings, that's not the UFO part.
It's a lot of wings.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, right here. As I looked at the living creatures, I saw a wheel on the ground beside each creature with its 4 faces. This was the appearance and structure of the wheels. They sparkled like topaz, and all 4 looked alike. Each appeared to be made like a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the 4 directions the creature's face. The wheels did not change directions as the creatures went. Their rims were high and awesome, and all 4 rims were full of eyes all around. Spread out above the heads of the living creatures was what looked like a vault, sparkling like crystal and awesome. Ezekiel 1.
On DMT.
Yeah, totally.
Rocky's still drinking.
What is this link you sent me, Jer? This is the advertisement?
You seem very much alone, John Spartan, but things aren't all that different.
Here's
Perhaps you might be an oldies station. Oldies? Oh, what a relief!
Is it the 3 seashells?
Oh, this is the most popular station in town. Wall-to-wall mini-tunes. You call them commercials.
Here's the classic you've all been waiting for. The #1 request of the day. Armor hot dogs.
Kids eat armor hot dogs.
Oh, wow. This is my fave.
Sissy kids, even kids with chicken pox love hot dogs.
What's going on?
Good stuff.
Wow.
Jingles become like their music of choice.
It does. It's the oldies channel.
It's called the oldies channel. The movie is a really okay. The premise is good. The acting is horrible, which makes it a really funny movie. And it's with Wesley Snipes.
Sandra Bullock's a fox in it, though.
Totally. And Stallone's.
Oh, that movie? Yeah, that's
Sylvester
Stallone.
Yeah.
Demolition
That's where that's from. Yeah.
Product placement by Taco Bell.
It was brilliant product placement.
Isn't there tons of in that movie?
Like Taco Bell's like a gourmet restaurant, like high class.
Yeah.
They sit down and they get like these tiny portions, like you'd get at a gourmet restaurant, like 3 little triangles that are in a weird arrangement with a sprig of onion,
like like little strips of sauce.
Yes.
Jesus.
And the dude, he sprinkled the salt down over his arm.
His elbow down his forearm over his elbow.
Down his forearm. Get that elbow magic.
Wow.
So what do we got on the agenda, guys?
God, I don't, dude. Yeah, today we were coming up with like 100 different things, and I'm having a brain fart. So, I can.
Let's see what this group text had.
You never write anything down, James?
Dude, we don't write things down.
Oh no, yeah. Sometimes I prepared. Today I didn't.
The history of mud wrestling.
It's in the ether.
Egyptian meditation practices.
Egyptian meditation practices. Right?
Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Biggest moments in the decades during the 20th century.
Wow.
Band name segment. Unsolved mysteries. See, this is where we just waste a segment by reading all the segments we could have. What went down in life history. No, that wasn't good. Notable time capsule finds.
Yeah. I thought that would have been fun.
Controversies about song lyrics.
Controversial song lyrics. NWA.
Well, that was part of the Bush administration too.
Right. The war on drugs and all that. Yeah.
That whole thing was created. Private prisons, create the gang culture, lock people up.
Yeah.
Make it an endless cycle.
Yeah. Have any of you guys watched the second season of To Make a Murderer?
No, have not.
No, I have not.
You should watch it. You'll get an idea of how ridiculous this fucking system is in the processes that you have to go through to appeal shit, even when you have substantial evidence to overthrow stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
get a chance, definitely watch that.
I like the first one.
Not saying that he's innocent, but
right,
there's a lot of stuff that's brought up that like evidence withheld from the court purposely, which technically would have been, would have reversed the decision. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like the appellant courts and all these emergency motions that the attorney general can file to block any type of appeal, even if it's ordered, even if an order comes out from a higher court, they can still like file these emergency motions to block it. It's crazy.
Yeah, that isn't.
And I also watched The Invitation on Netflix.
Hi, Suzanne.
Suzanne, holy shit!
Speaking of, she's the one who told me to watch it.
The Invitation. Yeah, what was that one? I wrote it down too, but I just looked over.
The Invitation?
It was pretty terrible in my opinion.
What was that one?
It's kind of like it's like a movie like Heaven Gate's Cult.
Oh.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid type stuff. It's like a new age spin on it.
Huh.
Yeah,
Like
but
the Blue Aliens?
lanterns is what got me.
The what?
The lanterns.
Oh, at the end?
At the end? All the fucking red lanterns all over the place, and like the helicopters and the sirens. And
well, that's the beginning of the next movie, The Happening.
Oh, okay.
The Invitation M. Night Shyamalan?
It's M. Night Shyamalan?
Shyamalan Ding Dong, right? Yeah.
Shyamalan Ding Dong. Exactly.
Shyamalan.
That's right. No, I remember.
What's the one? The Purge. It kind of reminded me of The Purge, but like with that Heaven's Gate.
Oh, yeah. That's a good,
twist, cult twist.
Yeah. I mean, it was terrible either way. So.
Oh, the acting was bad.
Yikes.
The premise. I guess the ending with all the lanterns was just like, what a fuck! Oh God, that's such a trip.
Suzanne, what did you take from the Bush dying and your thoughts on all the fucking horrible shit that guy did? We were going over some of it, but
I don't think we have enough time.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh my gosh!
I mean,
I think
your immediate thought, I guess, when you heard that, were you like, "Thank God," or just like, "Finally"? Yeah,
yeah. Ben had come in and told me, and I
Yeah.
go, "Thank fucking God!"
Yes, it was just like such an evil was just lifted.
Thanks.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Thanks.
Did you have like a?
I was happy.
No, I mean, but like, was there some like one of the did something spark your mind on like, from the past, like, man, I remember this one story or whatever, like, or just in general, just a bad guy. That whole family.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like where to start? Iran Contra.
Yeah.
JFK, fucking, he spawned like the son of Satan.
For the longest time, I've always felt that Bush was the grassy knoll shooter.
Yeah. Oh.
He was reportedly in Dallas. He actually, there's an FBI
Maybe he was MK
document out that he reported from some weird it's like a cover story. It sounds like one. He was like 60 miles outside of Dallas, and he phoned into the FBI that he heard someone he overheard someone talking about the president being assassinated.
Wait, who said that?
Bush? Yes.
Wow.
I'll look for the document.
So many different stories.
That one's great though.
I know.
It's like his own cover story. Yeah.
But then wasn't he like he was in Dealey Plaza, wasn't he? Or was he just in
he was near
No, he was one of the guys that were like, I don't remember where I was or what I did.
Yeah, because he was allegedly in this other town where he overheard assassination talk the night before.
I can't really remember where I was.
But I thought there was a picture of him and little Georgie Porgy on the steps of a church or something.
Maybe, but
on the day he was in.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
On November 22nd.
But it could be very good. It could be very true. I don't know. It's all.
I don't know.
It was a giant ritual. It doesn't matter.
Yes,
I had a pang of guilt for like being happy that somebody was dead.
It's tough.
Don't be happy. Just don't be sad. That's. I'm
totally not sad.
Guy had a long life.
Fake dog.
He did have a long life.
I mean,
all these people fucking virtue signaling, saying how great he was and just all the praise. That's what's making me sick.
Did you see what happened with Joy Behar?
Any of that.
Okay. What happened to her?
Let me get you this clip. Hold on.
Oh gosh, that'd be great.
While you're saying that, I was actually flicking through the radio, and there was like a Christian radio station, and they were giving props to George Bush, and they said a couple of little anecdotes about how the day that he won the presidency, he was at home, or he was at a family member's house, and he helped put away the dishes after dinner. Even after he found out he won, he still like put the dishes away before he went and like celebrated. And they also mentioned that he, during Christmas time, that he would coop himself up so that the Secret Service could have dinner with their family, and he'd just like coop himself up so they wouldn't have to watch over him. And
he's such a saintly person.
And he'd go and have milk and cookies with them on Christmas Day
while he's banging call boys in the room over.
But yeah, that was a little snippet I heard. That's pretty much all I like.
He was a good man. Rest in peace.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. I heard one. I saw one on the television. One guy was like how the media will, mess shit up, or not mess things up, but twist things and make it against him. It was like it was like a liberal attack on him. One time he was at a supermarket, and when it was they were coming out with barcode technology with their scanners. And the media portrayed it like, look at this old dude can't figure out a barcode. He was all,
I remember that.
Yeah, he was all about it. But no, he was like marveling in like how fast it could connect something.
It was like George Bush goes to the grocery store.
Yeah, and they were like, this guy don't even know how to. Yeah, it was great.
Doesn't even know the technology.
Same old. Yeah.
No matter in 1,000 years, none of this will.
Yeah, when we get asteroided again or something.
Check this out. I put this in chat. We'll put in chat now. Play that.
Sure.
Share it too. So on the View.
So America will spend this week saying goodbye to our 41st President George H.W. Bush, who passed away at 94 this weekend. And the tributes have been pouring in from family and former presidents. And, and looking at him as president compared to...
It's a different time.
It suddenly puts everybody in a different perspective.
Yeah.
And it reminds us in a weird kind of way. Sorry, I still got the call. How you can still not agree with somebody, but be respectful of somebody. And that's the thing I think I dug the most is him rolling with Bill Clinton,
He seemed to
taking
be
care of
coming
business.
from a loving, kind place also, the man. That's what I am gleaning from what they're talking about, that he was loving.
He was also known for his humility as president. And he talked about it a lot, that he was there to serve the people. He's a combat veteran. He's actually our last combat veteran to ever serve. He lied about his age to join the military, the Navy, after Pearl Harbor. An incredible life of service to our country. He was a 2-term congressman, ambassador to the UN, chairman of the RNC, United States envoy, director of the CIA, and 8 years as vice president, and then obviously became president himself. But his love story with Barbara Bush, more than anything, is what touched me. They did interviews up until just, I think, 2 years ago with Jenna, where they're crying about their love for one another, and he died 8 months after her, and I just think it's a really beautiful example of a life of service and a great love.
That's why this weekend... I felt like it was more of a celebration than anything else. It was a celebration of life, as you said, Megan, of marriage, of a life of service. They were married 73 years. And Jenna's granddaughter interviewed him recently on the Today Show. And he said when he dies, the first person he wants to see would be Barbara if she goes first, then his mother, and then his 3-year-old daughter, who you remember passed away of leukemia. What I love most about him is that he was a family man, and he always put his family first. So you said he was the first envoy of China to China, and actually my family lived in the same home 35 years later that he lived in. And they still talk about him there today as being humble, as being funny. He was funny, and he was just
same bloodline.
He was real. And I loved his relationship with the press, because we talk about that a lot on this show. And they were tough on him. It's not like they were easy on George H.W. Bush.
The press is tough on every president. That's part of their job. They're supposed to be.
He had such a respect for what they did.
Yes.
And the role that they played. So I think there's so much to learn from his life. And I hope that the next generation, they may not know him the way that we do, the way we remember him, but I hope they learn from him.
I want to say one thing about him that was not picked up really, because as a candidate, he said, those who think we're powerless to do anything about the greenhouse effect are forgetting about the White House effect. And then he signed into law the Clean Air Act Amendment of 1990, one of the most sweeping environmental statutes ever. This president that we have now is trying to unravel everything that he did and Obama did. And if I ever become a one-issue voter, it will be about pollution and the greenhouse effect and
Can
the
we
fact
focus
that
on the president, please? I don't want to talk about Trump when we're in the moment of we're honoring a great president who's passed.
Please. I want to talk about
but we're honoring, but I'm not interested in your one issue.
I don't care what you're interested in. I'm talking.
Well, I don't care what you're interested in.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Oh, they just break down.
That was so worth it.
Oh my gosh.
It goes on. She's like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to walk off the show.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently she's walked off before. I don't care what you have to say.
Oh my gosh.
And that's Megan McCain. That's John McCain's daughter, who she lost her father, a month ago?
Yeah, something like that. It was recently.
She gotta have some tact.
Which had all kinds of weird shit on it too. I heard Freeman talking about it. Did you hear that show?
McCain's death?
Like all these 33s, like he died on the 33rd parallel and he's being buried on the 33rd parallel. And there was 3 days of whatever they call it, mourning, waking.
Man.
For McCain. For McCain.
Lots of threes.
All right, I got my history of mud wrestling.
Okay. And I got time capsules.
Okay, here we go. I went down a little wormhole, a muddy wormhole. So it's a little general. You guys all kind of know what mud wrestling is, but mud wrestling is defined as a physical confrontation, fighting, wrestling, etc., that occurs in mud or a mud pit. The popular modern interpretation specifies that participants wrestle while wearing minimal clothing and usually going barefoot, with the emphasis on presenting an entertaining spectacle as opposed to physically injuring or debilitating the opponent to the point where they are unable to continue the match. Venues for competition are usually social in nature with equal numbers of male and female spectators. That's just a general summary of what mud wrestling is if you don't know what it is.
Get her done.
So the article here I found kind of referred back. They say that mud wrestling was, a new thing in the 1900s or something or other, but some guy mentioned on Wikipedia that this article completely ignores that most cultures, Greek and Roman in particular, did all of their wrestling in oil. This was to increase the difficulty and help develop strength and technique. People who could not afford the oil used mud. In addition, wrestling in a special clay mix has been a standard, if minor, competition in Germany involving men of exceptional fitness. So it goes way back. People have been wrestling in all kinds of different things.
Yeah, that's why they use KYC in frat houses.
KY jelly?
Does anyone know what KY stands for? I don't. I'm just asking.
Keep you jelly.
Keep you jelly. I like that.
And then I found a little snippet here that kind of tries to summarize the history. And it says here, the place and time of origin of mud wrestling is unknown. An early instance can be seen in the 1966 shockumentary film Mondo Freudo, though its origins may be much earlier. So Mondo Freudo, if you want to go look that up. It's a shockumentary. Houston wrestling promoter Paul Besh is credited with the invention of mud wrestling. That's Paul Besh, as he came up with the concept for the match when booking a feud between Gus Sonnenberg and Harnum Singh in Seattle, Washington, which he promoted as an Indian dirt match. Its popularity in the United States increased in the 1980s and later spread worldwide. Although originally performed in bars and nightclubs, organizations have staged mud wrestling events for fun and charity. And this is a little tidbit that I thought James Cruz would like. It said here, the first professional mud wrestling organization was formed in Akron, Ohio in the 1930s.
30s? Jesus.
1930s, Akron, Ohio. First professional mud wrestling organization.
It was probably like something correlated with like Goodyear, the tire company. All your Goodyear tires come from Akron, Ohio.
But then I found a little Wikipedia thing that was a little talking point here about the kind of the psychology of mud wrestling and why it's exciting. So this is the explanation of the excitement of mud wrestling. The excitement of mud wrestling arises from a number of factors. So we're going to break it down for you. Firstly, the mud provides a glorious sheen on the bodies of the wrestlers, which accentuates their attractiveness. Secondly, that's number one. This is going to be on the quiz or on the test, so pay attention. Secondly, the randomness of the fight allows for more unconventional glimpses of the wrestlers' bodies than in a normal strip team. Thirdly, the fight usually results in the accidental or deliberate removal of the wrestlers' bikinis, with the expected rise in audience excitement. Fourthly, if that's a word.
Yeah. Fourthly,
there's an obvious pseudo lesbianism to the wrestling. So let's review. What was the first one? The first factor for the excitement of mud wrestling. What was it?
I didn't take any notes. Something about a sheen, wasn't it?
Yeah. You got it.
The glistening sheen.
Yeah, it gives you, it accentuates the attractiveness of the bodies because it gives you that sheen.
That's the only one.
Second thing.
I couldn't tell you.
Jerry?
I was waiting for the pauses.
I wasn't listening at all.
Oh man,
are you serious?
It was the physical.
I heard
it was
wrestling,
so
and then I was like,
and this isn't like academic. It's just someone threw it on Wikipedia. So, secondly, the randomness of the fight made it let you get some unconventional glimpses of the wrestlers' bodies. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I knew it was something like that.
So if like someone twists your arm, you're gonna maybe stick out your chest or something like that. And you don't normally do that in a normal striptease. It says. Thirdly, is the accidental or deliberate removal of the wrestler's.
Oh, the clothing, yeah.
And then the fourth, you heard it. And then I just found some mentions of just where you see mud wrestling and kind of pop culture. So there's an anime and manga. This one goes out to Grimsteak and James.
All right.
You got a little anime manga called Girls Bravo. Do you know that?
I've never heard of that.
It occurs between Kosami and Keri.
Salami?
Kosami.
Oh.
And there's a anime or manga Queen's Blade.
Nope.
Do you know Queen's Blade? It says here Lena participates in several of these, but with oi instead of mud to raise money for her travels.
Yeah, that sounds like some slice of life animes that I'm not all about.
You have the Predator with Arnold.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. I got Mortal Kombat Annihilation has Melina versus Sonya. Stripes.
Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Stripes. While in a mud wrestling bar, Private Dewey Oxburger, John Candy, has a match against two female wrestlers and ends up with both of their bikini tops. Oh, John Candy, that sly dog.
Oh, one of them is Young. Something Young. She was in Blade Runner.
Forever Young?
No, a woman.
Oh, there. You want to look it up?
Sure. Sean Young. It's Sean Young, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure.
I have no idea.
All right, where you might have seen mud wrestling in the comics, incredible as it may seem, for the G-rated comic, a 1970s Archie story had Betty suffer amnesia and end up being exploited as a sideshow mud wrestler.
Oh man,
crazy!
It's wild stuff.
Another instance where you saw some mud wrestling in a comic mentioned, but not played straight in the Monica's Gang Story. Do you guys know that Monica's Gang Story?
No.
Nope.
All right, maybe we'll skip that one. Let's see. In literature. Oh, you guys remember Quantum Leap? We always mentioned Quantum Leap.
Oh yeah, I remember Scott Bakio.
Oh, that's a good show.
In the Quantum Leap episode, The Leaping of the Shrew, an argument between Sam and a girl soon degenerates into a mud wrestling. Al, watching them, snarks, "You guys should wear bikinis and charge admission." Maybe one or two more. In literature, does you guys know a story called Thud?
Nope.
Probably not. Western animation. Beavis and Butthead once tried to get into a mud wrestling match after practicing between themselves.
Beavis and Butthead?
Beavis and Butthead. I kind of remember them being in a mud wrestling situation.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up, I ran into this weird kind of wormhole where I was looking for the history of mud wrestling and something popped up on like Flickr or one of those image capturing websites or
Tumblr.
Flickr, maybe Flickr. Did I say Flickr?
Imgur.
Yeah,
Flickr is it's old. It's an old one, but they still have it.
But I found a picture there, and then in the comments, someone wrote, "This is the real origin of mud wrestling." So I read through it, and it made my head hurt because it just made no sense.
Were reptilians involved in the Anunnaki?
No, but I want to read it, run it past you guys, and see what you think. I could not make like heads or tails of it. It was just very odd.
I like the Chip and Dale guy in the background.
So, can I read this and tell me what you guys think of it?
Please.
Oh, God. Okay, so the real origin of mud wrestling, it all began in Kansas City. Research by Earl R. Stonebridge. It began in 1950, the year of the big flood, when swimming pools were closed due to the spread of several diseases. Anyway, two young women, Ida Mae, last name withheld, and Betty Jean, last name withheld, were running from a parking lot of a honky-tonk called Travelux on Highway 24 in the old area called the Inner City, a term used for unincorporated areas of Jackson County, Missouri at the time. To be precise, the old Travelux was on the north side of Highway 24, about 1/4 mile west of Wilson Road and Brookside, an area near the Mount Washington Cemetery. The Travelux is no longer in operation, but its spirit still lingers throughout the entire area. To be even more detailed, the Travelux was on the old trolley line that ran from Fairmount to downtown Kansas City, Missouri. There was a trolley called the Goat that took the area residents from Fairmount to the Mount Washington bus stop. That has no relevance, however, to this tale. Later, about the trolley and the antics that went on inside that trolley at another time. At that time in Kansas City area history, there was no karaoke events in that area, just low-down country and Western music. One might have heard songs current then, songs by Hank Williams like Your Cheating Heart and My Son Calls Another Man Daddy, emotionally inspired tunes. There was rain coming down and the two women were making a run for the door of the Travelux. Throughout the years, the Travelux had a reputation for being a spot where a guy could meet a lonely woman. Blue lights that highlighted the outline of the honky-tonk added to the reputation. Who has heard that song, House of Blue Lights? Yes, the Travelux was a hot spot for meeting lonely women and men, mostly singles in a state of transition. According to rumors, both women were hot to get back into the arms of a specific man, a soldier on furlough from Korea. His name was Jim Smith, not real last name. Ida Mae, so we're getting back to this Ida Mae and
yeah.
This makes no sense, and it just keeps going like this. Ida Mae had driven a 1938 Ford Coupe to the Travelux. It almost sounds like it was written by like a robot with emotions.
It might have been. It could have been totally written by a bot.
You got to tell me what you think when we're done here. Ida Mae had driven a 1938 Ford Coupe to the Travelux. Betty Jean had arrived in her ex-husband's 1937 Terraplane. As this tale unfolds during the race to the door, Ida Mae made a remark about Betty Jean's automobile. Remember, Betty Jean was the one with the Terraplane. The Terraplane was later to renamed Hudson. Exactly what Ida Mae said is not known. Rumor has it that the remark was less than complimentary about the design of the auto. Hot-headed and said to have been an only child, Betty Jean slapped Ida Mae's face. That was according to those still alive for years after that, even almost passed into the dark and dim annals of history, when all hell broke loose. Before the two finally got into the Travelux to get liquid nourishment and clean up, they had drawn quite a crowd of spectators, mostly men, except for Bertha, a barmaid. Bertha's wisdom kept her running to and fro the bar, serving beer and bottles and getting 10-cent tips for keeping the crowd nourished. The two women cursed, spat, slapped, kicked, and behaved in a manner that would not have been befitting to any woman in that period of time, or today. When it all ended, the two women realized that during their combatant activity, Jim Smith had hurried away in his father's Oldsmobile. So they fight, and they don't ever mention mud. He would later return from Korea, a decorated veteran, and purchase a new Chevy Deluxe from Roast Chevrolet in Fairmont. Thus, this is the true and authentic tale about the origins of mud wrestling. Remember, the purest form of mud wrestling originated in the inner city area of Kansas City, Missouri, not too far from the Blue Summit, but now incorporated into the city limits of Independence. Or is it Kansas City? Several of Kansas City's deans of academia have studied the scenario and have disagreed about what segment of the story should be studied for facts and relevance. Should it be mud wrestling per se? Terraplane, the Travelux, country and western music, old Highway 24, popular brands of beer at the time, blue neon lights, the Fabulous 50, or men named Jim Smith?
Amazing.
All right.
That was just the weirdest thing I've ever read on the internet.
Yeah. I love Wikipedia.
They fight, but they don't ever mention anything about it being in mud.
No, there's
Mud.
never one mention of mud in that entire reading.
Mud at all.
Whew.
Wow.
And that's the history of mud wrestling, folks.
There we go. It's cruising with steak.
Well, speaking of quantum, what do you guys think about quantum time hovering?
Quantum time hovering. You're going to have to explain what that means.
All right, let me share this with you real quick.
Is that like looking over the shoulder of both sides of a person at the same time?
It's like looking at the back of your head through space and time.
Okay.
Okay, there's a video that you're showing us of some sort of craft in the sky.
Yeah, it's looking very crafty.
Right, so these are videos of airplanes that are hovering in the sky.
They're not hovering.
And it never moves, right? It never moves. Yeah, I've seen this one.
How do you know it's not moving? You're moving.
Yeah, but you're moving also.
Right. It's
an optical illusion. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an illusion.
If he pulled over and it was not moving, then yeah, I would go, wow, that's cool.
So here's some
what was that?
Artifacting right here.
Oh, artifacting?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like the crescent?
Was that a croissant or a crescent?
No, it just stretched out. There was
I mean, you're completely right. It is something that is probably, you have to take into account the wind speeds and direction of the wind speeds. Sometimes when you're in the air before you land, sometimes it kind of looks like you're hovering, but you're just...
It's like the Doppler effect, but for visual.
You're trying to fight the wind.
If it's a bigger plane and they're in their final descent, they've got their flaps down, they're in full brake mode, and they're basically descending on air currents, with very little forward thrust.
Right. But
you call that quantum queefing? What was
that's not what really caught my attention. Some of the comments down here, people talk about their experiences with time apparently stopping for them.
How would they know?
Time lords?
How would you know if time stopped? Unless someone else was there to say, "Hey,
someone holds up a sign that says time is stopping."
Well, it doesn't matter. If time stops, then nobody's moving around. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
So like this person here said I was in a Walmart and everyone stopped, and I thought I walked in some type of freeze mob. So I ignored for the most part due to my mood being in hurry mode, and got to checkout, and it was froze as well. The self-checkout machine was froze. So I put everything down and shouted and walked out, and got almost to the exit, and everyone started again all at once. The noise and feeling of movement up to this video, I thought I was moving in some type of hyperspeed.
Mm-hmm.
I was never approached by anyone mentioning it.
The hyperspeed was the meth she smoked before she went in.
Well, I do. Yeah. Like this one here, I'm freaking out because I saw this in like 2007, 2008 in Colorado Springs while I was driving. Military jet aircraft was hovering above grocery warehouse. Well, that could have been a Hellcat. Hellcats do hover. Warehouse while I was driving. I didn't film it.
Sorry.
But I asked if anyone saw it for years and no one saw it, which is crazy. So, I mean, there are reports of people experiencing these things. There's also been reports like a long time ago where this was actually a thing.
It reminds me of a quote from the renowned philosopher MC Hammer. Stop. Hammer time.
So like this right here, like this video here, like this could be editing techniques right here. I don't know. Or it could be wind velocity.
If you find a stationary video, I think these guys they found out the trick. If you move at a constant rate versus where that's moving, where the plane's moving to, you can make it look like it's standing still.
Like when you see those videos of the birds flying and their wings are just stuck still, and they're
If anyone can provide a stationary video of this phenomenon, then I will take it seriously.
Yeah,
that would be dope.
Well, there have been reports of people being in certain locations where people would bump into them as if they were not there.
Take a picture.
Those are some of the accounts. So yeah, I just found it kind of weird. This is popping up now. Like this here, this is a stationary one here, but that could have been a...
It's not stationary, he's driving.
That's probably like a kite or something.
Yeah.
Or like a remote control airplane or something.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not new. This has been around for a while.
Well, I know, but it kind of popped up when we were talking about quantum and Mandela effect.
Mandela effect.
Okay, gotcha.
It reminds me of a quote from the renowned 20th century philosopher Cyndi Lauper.
You know, some of these planes, like I do know, like C-130s, they fly very, very slow.
Right. Slowly.
So depending on your location on the ground, it could appear as if they are not moving.
Girls just want to have fun.
Right. I see him flying to, I forgot what Air Force base is down in Marietta. But yeah, they fly in really low and really slow, and it's slowly, and it's just, it's weird. The first couple times you see it, you're like, whoa. I mean, I remember grabbing my camera going, oh, it's just landing.
It reminds me of...
I thought it was going to crash for sure.
It reminds me of a quote from the renowned 20th century philosopher Cyndi Lauper. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time.
Time after time.
Time after time.
Oh, man. I have amazing time capsule discoveries.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
Way.
Yes. Okay. A time capsule found in a 113-year-old lion statue. It was rumored that there was a time capsule inside the golden lion that sits atop the roof of Boston's State House, placed there in 1901. So in October of 2014, when the lion was temporarily removed for renovations, it gave conservator Robert Scher the chance to see if it was true. He threaded a fiber optic camera through the hole in the lion's head and discovered a copper box. When they opened it, they found photographs and newspaper clippings from the era and a couple unexpected surprises. A Roosevelt McKinley button, a wooden piece from the original lion dating back to the 1880s. I got Steve Jobs' lost time capsule. Apple co-founder Steve Jobs gave a talk in 1983 at the Aspen International Design Conference and then included a computer mouse in the Aspen time tube, which was buried in a nearby field. As the years passed, the actual location of the time capsule was forgotten and was unable to be opened on its instated date in the year 2000. Excuse me. In 2013, a crew from National Geographic was able to locate it and unearth it with much fanfare. In addition to the mouse from the Lisa computer, a failed precursor to the Mac was a Rubik's Cube and an 8-track tape of the Moody Blues. Yeah. Okay, I got a time capsule buried by Paul Revere. Samuel Adams found it due to a water leak. In 1795, a time capsule said to have been placed in the cornerstone of the Massachusetts State House by Paul Revere. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on there in Boston.
I
dude.
remember this one.
By Paul Revere, and Sam Adams was found by a worker fixing a leak in 2014. This wasn't the first time it was accidentally found. In 1855, workers also came across it. It was opened in a ceremony with other items added, and then the time capsule was replaced inside a copper box. This was considered the oldest time capsule to have been discovered in the U.S., and it contains coins, newspapers, and a silver plate thought to be carved by Revere. There was a mysterious time capsule at the Washington Monument. During the renovation, it's a 100-year-old time capsule discovered, but who placed it there is a mystery. The box was found behind a plaque dedicated to September 12th. Oh, it would have been great if it was September 11th. September 12th, 1915, and its contents remain unknown as conservation is fear opening it. It may destroy what's inside.
Yeah, don't open it. Don't.
Yeah, forgotten shoe store on Earth. This wasn't an official time capsule, but still an ancient discovery in an era preserved in time. In this case, an American family inherited an old abandoned building from their grandparents that had been locked for decades. When they opened it up, they found a completely intact shoe store, which had been open from 1940 to 1960 and still had hundreds of mint condition vintage footwear thought to be worth thousands of dollars. And they are keeping the location in secret until they find the full value and that it can be assessed.
Oh my God, shoes.
OMG shoes.
OMG shoes.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. Before we go to the next one, can I, before I forget?
Please, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I wanted to mention this paradox that I found earlier that's kind of totally related to the quantum hovering and time. Okay. The paradox is called the Fletcher's paradox. This is really quick, just to get you thinking. Jerry, you listening?
Like a Boyer Fletcher?
Just the Fletcher's paradox.
An arrow maker Fletcher?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know what a Fletcher is. Imagine a Fletcher. Okay, do that. I.e. an arrow maker has fired one of his arrows into the air. For the arrow to be considered to be moving, it has to be continually repositioning itself from the place where it is now to any place where it currently isn't. The Fletcher's paradox, however, states that throughout its trajectory, the arrow is actually not moving at all. At any given instant of no real duration, in other words, a snapshot in time, during its flight, the arrow cannot move to somewhere it isn't because there isn't time for it to do so. And it can't move to where it is now because it's already there. So for that instant in time, the arrow must be stationary. But because all time is comprised entirely of instants, and every one of which the arrows must also be stationary, then the arrow must in fact be stationary the entire time. Except, of course, it isn't.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's another bullshit logic problem.
Well,
There's
wouldn't
too
it
many
be the same
assumptions in
thing
there.
if you took those frame by frame rates and then the arrows like not moving? You know, it
There's just no
reminds me
time
of
for it to
that.
go to the next position, is what it kind of says. Because
So it's A to B. Like
That would apply to any moving.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a word problem. Like,
Yeah.
it's double speak.
It's
double speak.
It's a logic problem. It's
Yeah, I know.
invalid. So it's
Yeah,
paradox.
it is invalid.
It's I guess you have
It's
to
like,
factor
if you shoot an arrow at a monkey in a tree and he drops from the tree at the same time that you let go of the arrow, do you hit
Does it
him?
make a sound?
No, do you hit him? The monkey sounds like
Only
Dino.
if
Get
you're
it.
there to witness it. Otherwise, it's NPCs playing around in the woods.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going back to
Gang
time capsules, aren't pyramids themselves time capsules?
Oh shit.
Well, I mean that's a good. Well, okay. It depends. Well, I guess if it's the three pyramids, they didn't find shit in those. But I mean, there's a ton of like pyramidal, structures in the Giza area that I mean that had a ton of shit in them. Yeah. Yeah, because those big ones I think were power plants. from the more I gather, and the
I thought
more
they were seed banks.
like Vault 1.
Isn't there another theory about energy resonance and healing centers and stuff like that for the pyramids?
There's like 10 billion theories.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, I
so
know.
many, man. I mean, yeah, they have like, because it was close to the water, and then the water would resonate in the bottom of it. It would send out this
That was a giant battery.
feed of electricity. Yeah, it's just like unreal, man.
Right.
This stuff was off the charts.
They were just huge subwoofers.
Could have been. Egypt party.
got base.
To keep the flat Earth spinning.
Yeah, we have to keep it.
Dude. Yeah. Well, it was on the ley lines, dude. So it powered up.
Maybe it's the
all the way.
Fibonacci. Maybe it's what makes the Fibonacci. Or I mean the not Fibonacci. What is it? The frequency of the
Phi.
Phi?
Oh, the Schumann resonance. What you're
the
talking
Schumann resonance.
Oh.
Yeah. Schumann.
What he said. You guys want me to do my musical
Which has
performance?
been freaking out lately.
Well, I want to finish my my thing on discoveries. I got a few more. Let's see. In Pennsylvania, let's see. Colonel Michael Consman was doing some research in the 13th Regiment of the National Guard, the precursor to his 55th Brigade, blah, 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 Scranton, Pennsylvania. He was searching on Google when he stumbled upon information about a time capsule that was buried in the Cornerstone in 1900. He had a team of soldiers locate the unearthed copper box, which contained unknown historical information about their brigade, as well as a cigar still fresh as the day it was sealed. People may say there's bad stuff about on the internet, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Adult reunited with time capsule left former home as a child. Those ones are always kind of, let's see, Austin resident Rob Wright created the time capsule in 1978. That's when I was born.
Nice.
When he lived in Fontana, California, placed it in a Ziploc bag and sealed it inside the wall of his family home. 2 years later, they moved out. They went to Texas and never seen a time capsule again in his lifetime. Or thought he would, So, cut 36 years later, the family owned the house and discovered the capsule when they were redoing the renovations. Hello to whoever finds this. My name is Robert Wright. The letter begins. It included some coins and newspaper clippings of the year. After a search on social media failed, the family turned to a local television station who aired the story. Wright then heard the discovery and was happy to be reunited with the time capsule. Yeah, like, what do you do? Yay! Like, you already... I think it'd be cooler if you found, like, somebody else's time capsule, not get yours back.
No,
like, yeah.
You got more sentimental value.
I mean, kind of, unless, like you say, though, you got to make them, like,
for posterity.
Look, posterity. You talk about sentimental. Yeah, you got to put maybe some items from, like in my house, there's 4 of us, so it's like, maybe a little thing from each person. Like something like that. Like some coins. What the fuck?
some belly button lint.
I mean, you gonna go search for coins? Go to like that Oak Island or something and find some shit from.
Dude, you want to go to Oak Island? Do some digging?
Dude, you should see what I watched one episode of that.
There.
Yeah. Oh, they're digging hard.
There's nothing in Oak Island, Jer?
Dude, they're finding shit there. Yeah, they're finding some stuff.
What about all
If you want
those
real
traps?
treasure, go to Serpent Mountain.
Oh God,
you can't dig in.
You'll get all the
Serpent Mountain.
spiritual treasure you want there.
Oh, you're talking that kind of treasure.
You know what? That's kind of, it's funny. There's another synchro. I'm playing Red Dead 2 right now, and I'm on a, like, there's, you could search for, there's like, you can search for treasures and stuff. So you get these like maps, and you gotta like decipher the map and find out where that area is. Well, I'm doing this one called like the Venomous Trail or whatever. And sure enough, dude, it's like when you find one map, it leads you to another map. But the final map, and I got to find it whenever I come across it on the massive landscape that it is. But it goes to the Serpent Mound, and there's the Serpent Mound, and it's supposed to be like right in the mouth of it and shit, where the treasure is. I think it's like
That's awesome.
like a gold bar or something. Yeah, but pretty cool shit.
Yeah, that game sounds pretty fun.
It's a lot of fun, dude.
Are you ever going to get redemption?
Well, there's some different. There's some crazy. Obviously, there's racial undertones and aspects to it, and like your character is not race. He's just trying. It's weird. It's like right at the tail end of like being a cowboy. That whole like we're going to find some freedom on the range. You know, like, nah, man, the government's buying everything up, dude. Like, yeah, like you got these oh shit, the Pinkertons, which would be like the government, you know, like the FBI, you know, like this, you know, like those kind of guys. That's what the Pinkertons were. If you ever hear that term all the time, which is like the like.
Isn't there like a Weezer album called Pinkerton?
Yeah,
Yes, it's
chasing
a really,
your ass down.
It's a really good Weezer album too.
Yeah. So and back to my list, which puts me at like in the Civil War era artifact, forgotten, yeah, like kind of, yeah, because you come across that kind of shit in that game. But let's see, a forgotten floor closet in a former library in San Antonio, Texas building was stumbled upon during the renovations, revealing an unexpected treasure and totally surprising the staff. The Hertzberg Circus Museum was being turned into a Western art museum when the boarded up closet was found. This closet contained 200 documents, including a 1615 King James Bible and photos dating to the Civil War. We are excited and baffled, the library had said. We got one, Paris, in Paris, and this incredible time capsule is in an entire apartment left behind by a Parisian fleeing the Nazis in 1942. The woman, Madame de Florin, moved to south of France and never returned, but kept paying for the apartment until her death at 91 in 2010. When her heirs were sorting through her possessions, they discovered documentation about the apartment and opened it to find it's still intact after 70 years. Inside, old school amazing relics, from paintings to a stuffed ostrich and a Mickey Mouse doll. Oh, creepy. Burbank time capsule found via newspaper clipping. This is my last one. Time capsule placed inside a Magnolia Bridge in Burbank, California, was accidentally discovered by Larry Harnish, a historian from the Los Angeles Times who was scouring the newspaper archives. The time capsule was buried February 5th, 1959, and it was scheduled to be open February 5th, 2009. Harnish discovered it and alerted city officials just in time. When uncovered behind the bridge's plaque, it contained a 35 millimeter film known as the JFK assassination. Sorry, that's not true. Burbank was known for its film and television studios, photos of the city, and even a list of prediction of life in 2009, which included moving sidewalks and underground atomic power. That's the best one. Oh my God. By 2009, you're gonna have moving sidewalks would be one of those escalators, and
yeah, dude, they got them in airports.
Yeah, dude, and then underground atomic power.
Well, that's not gonna happen because they're shutting all the
created in that pyramid.
Well, they're shutting all those down in France now. All the atomic plants. Just close them all down.
Yeah, they are.
Crazy.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, they're time bombs for weather modification weaponry.
Oh, man. Oh, Jesus.
Wait, time bombs for... What are you saying, Leo? You can't just say something like that and not elaborate on it.
Yeah, they're time bombs.
Yeah, they just generate a hurricane and send it towards it and blow it up.
Oh, the nuclear plants.
Time bombs.
That's why they got to close them. Gotcha. I'm with you now. Yeah.
Oh, man.
They are taking time bombs, but...
Oh, I need a break. I got another segment going. Felix, you got a song?
Musical interlude?
Hell
Musical
yeah.
interlude.
For all those that are listening on Grimerica.ca/FM, because I got the call sign wrong. It's not even a call sign, but that's where you would listen to the show if anyone.
Or you go to cruisingwithsteak.com/live.
Actually, yeah, I need to say that instead. Fuck those guys. Go to cruisingwithsteak.com. What is it, Grim?
/live. cruisingwithsteak.com/live. There's the link there.
That's even better. All right.
Simple.
It's simple. And then you can join the Meat Locker, dude.
Yeah, come to the Discord.
Yeah.
Except they already changed the name. It's like Gen.
No, it's a Meat Locker. But
Gen Pop.
Gen Pop is the main chat room, and yeah, I changed it today.
The whole server is called Meat Locker.
Yeah, it's called the entire server is Cruising with Steaks Meat Locker.
Meat Locker, yeah.
It's
but
clever branding.
Yeah, I mean, just branding it. You know, you got to burn in that symbol.
We really got to start calling the listeners out there steak-a-tears.
Steak-a-tears. I like that.
Oh, they're the fillets.
The fillets.
Ooh,
Yeah,
filet
we
mignon.
or let's see. Yeah.
All you steak-a-tears out there, all you filet
Some
mignon.
can be the oysters.
Well, Grim knows all about the meat. What would be like little chunks of meat? Like what is that? Like the yeah, like
little chunks of meat, like stew meat. What do you say?
Cube steaks? No,
cube steaks are through a tenderizer. You're just talking about some
I'm
some
talking
beef stew,
like
some
beef
meat.
stew when it's cut up.
Rump roast.
Rump roast. All you rump roasters out there.
All right,
They call
let's
me
get
the
this.
rump shaker.
Let's get this jam on the road. James is off the rails.
Dude.
I think it's tube steak, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, it is. Yes.
You were spot on.
Cucksteak.
Cucksteak.com.
All right, tell me if you hear the guitar.
Crank it.
I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta turn it up.
All right, so you guys can mute down. I'm gonna do a little, read a little write up about the song, and then I'll play it for you. And this is going out to Talamh in the chats.
Ooh,
Talamh, and he'll know.
Talamh.
Wait, Lamb, like the Crowley's alien dude, Lamb.
Talamh.
How do you say his name?
I don't know. That
One of the
T
two. Talamh or Talamh.
Yeah,
he knows who he is.
I dedicate this song to Talamh.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you guys mute down. I'll video down. And here we go. I'll read a little write up about it, and then I'll play it. Give me a sec. Okay, this song's called "Blown in the Wind." There's a little write up. Our current popular music scene borrows heavily from the world of folk songs. Among modern balladeers, none has made a stronger impact than Bob Dylan, whose "Blown in the Wind," composed in 1962, practically became the anthem of the civil rights movement. The sensitive words, however, are equally applicable to any situation involving man's indifference to the basic rights of others. In 1964, Peter, Paul, and Mary's recording of the song received Grammy Awards, both as the best performance by a vocal group and as the best folk song recording. So this is "Blown in the Wind." Here we go. This will be the first time I've plugged a guitar into my interface so you can hear the guitar better, maybe. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? Yes, and how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. times must a man look up before he can see the sky? Yes, and how many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? Yes, and how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years can a mountain exist before it's washed to the sea? Yes, and how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? Yes, and how many times can a man turn his head, pretending he just doesn't see? Oh, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Great job.
That was great.
That was awesome.
That was phenomenal, dude. It was really good.
Protest song.
I mean, the guitars, yeah, but that jacked in, man, it sounded great.
Sounded better?
Oh, it was great. Yeah.
Love the harmonica.
I can't wait to hear the actual full blown audio. I mean, like through Zoom. It still sounded really good though. Way better. Yeah.
I checked my levels and everything, and all I could think is that the signal when I was putting it through the other mic, it just got the signal of the whole entire room, and also the guitar, and this is just guitar.
Okay, yeah. I mean, dude, what did you hear? Like, how do you hear it when you're jamming? Like,
I just take my headphones off because I can't
Okay, yeah, because that will fuck you up, right? Yeah.
Hell yeah,
it just messes up my whole flow with either hearing myself or not. You're not able to hear yourself.
Well, you got a system, dude. You know what's going on. Yeah.
I have to be able to hear myself so I can
really good
in tune.
Yeah. Oh,
That goes out to Talamh in the chats. He just went and saw Bob
just made
Dylan.
the show. That was freaking awesome. It was way better than top 10 time capsule.
You're gonna have to bring the ocarina next week, Felix, because call me Ian in the chats is saying I thought there was gonna be ocarina this week.
Oh, I got ocarina. I can play a little something for you.
Let's rip it out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we definitely have no topics.
I'll do a quick ocarina. Give me talk for a couple seconds. I'll get it set up for a time sensitive.
So call me.
Who's new to the chats? Yeah, he's new. He's new to the chats. So welcome.
Okay, yeah. So thanks for hooking up with us, man. And it's a good place to be for everybody that wants to join this little adventure we're all going down. I mean, this show varies from amazing topics to the dumbest things possible.
Slapstick comedy.
You throw shit against the wall, and sometimes it's funny, and sometimes it's just gross. But
either way, it's gross if you're throwing shit against the wall.
Yeah, and I mean, we're trying to have fun, and it's a work in progress, dude. I always have fun doing this, and I'm so glad to have freaking Leo here and Jerry as always. Suzanne, thank you so much for jumping in, and it was great to see you on the Hive, dude. We rocked a Hive. We do a Hive.
I know, it's so fun.
Yeah, we do a Hive.
I missed that one.
We came up with this Hive thing a long time ago, probably a year ago or so, maybe longer than that.
It was July 1st, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So and then so we came up with that, and that's a live stream on YouTube on Jerry's channel, which is Jerry. What's your channel?
Go to jerrycthulhu.com. Take you right to it.
Yeah, there you go. And dude, Jerry also does a show, a podcast. He's a multitasker. He does them all at the same time. What's your show, Jerry?
It's called Mente.
Yeah.
It's all about dreams.
Dreams and dreamers.
Phenomenal. Him and the lovely Nish.
I think I'm booked in for January on Mente actually.
What?
You are.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
2019.
2019.
James was the first. James was the first.
James was one.
Yes,
I was interviewee
the
on
Mente.
I wanted us to have it down really well, the format and everything before I ever had Grim on, because I wanted it to be special.
Sure,
thanks,
I was I was glad to be the guinea pig.
You volunteered.
Grim is so much more special than we are.
You guys asked. I raised my hand, no doubt about
Jared
it.
doesn't even have my thing on the website or on the list. I'm like, where's mine? He's like, it's not on there. Thanks.
No, it is on there.
No, I'm just kidding.
There are people missing, but they're.
I know you were setting it up. I'm just joking.
Everything's on YouTube.
I'm trying to make Grim feel a lot better.
The podcast.
Jerry does amazing work, dude. He's got a moon. He's got a freaking moon channel. Like, what do
it's the same channel
for that, or is it just
it's the same channel? Oh no,
I mean, he films them. He's looking for the lunar wave. I'm sure a lot of us.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
He's 777.
Call me Phil Collins.
Triple X.
I still film it when it's interesting. Like I'm going to try and capture it tomorrow night, because right before sunset it's going to be like 6% illuminated. So it'll be a big crescent over the horizon.
Is Crow still around? I haven't heard anything out of him in a while.
When was Crow saying? He just put something up about filming the moon.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't read it. I didn't watch it.
The moon is filming you.
China. Is it China? China? Or
China's going to they're going to put their fake moon in the air.
Fake moon.
And then we're going to land on it.
Dark side of the moon. They're going to drop some shit on
Pepsi moon.
And then we're going to land on it.
God.
Absolutely.
Remember the Black Knight Satellite Pepsi commercial for the Super Bowl?
What? No?
You don't remember that? That was just like 2 years ago or something.
Weird.
Yeah, there was the Black Knight Satellite. This whole thing was a Pepsi thing. And it was like, it was a bunch of, whatever musicians and stars of the time, you know, doing a big giant Pepsi. It turned into a big giant Pepsi commercial, but it was like this huge like production, you know. It's like you know, imagine like the NASA's like control center, and they're like, you know, they're communicating with this Black Knight satellite thing, and it was like, I want to say it was Kardashian's husband. What the fuck's her name? Is the Kanye West or some shit.
Bob Cat Gold.
No, it was Kanye West, I think, or something like that, and ended up being this huge. It was a massive production. I'll find
Interesting.
it and I'll link it real quick. But
I got.
Well, while you're finding it, let's hear some Ocarina, huh?
Yeah, time sensitive Ocarina song.
Jam it out.
Here we go.
Time sensitive.
It's very time sensitive.
No way. We got time.
No, it's the song.
Oh wait, Leo's got to go in 2 minutes.
Time sensitive.
This is his goodbye song.
This is Leo's goodbye song.
And I got to change the page real quick. Whoops.
Let it snow.
Nice. And it was snowing today too. It's perfect.
Very nice.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. It was nice
Leo,
chatting.
yeah, thanks for joining us, man. Good time.
No problem.
Good
night,
seeing
everyone.
You. Good night,
bro.
So
I
long.
see you.
Well, guys, we got anything else? Any final words or thoughts or anything?
Oh, I have one final. I have.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, my phone's. All right, so I was wondering if anybody else like had piano lessons with their at the same time as their siblings, and they would have to practice, and you knew the songs by heart so much that you would, if they played the wrong key, you would be doing the right key, so you go like, it's da da, or you know what, like whatever the key was, just to like really make them mad.
No, never had that.
No, but I've had a similar experience. I got yelled at for knowing the song too well. Because during my piano, I decided to take piano lessons when I was 30. I think it was like 30. I took them for 3 years. I took jazz piano lessons, and I couldn't. I practiced so much I ended up memorizing the songs.
Oh wow!
So I wouldn't read the music. I had a hard time reading sheet music and playing at the same time.
Do you have like a real piano or like a Casio?
I had a real piano.
Oh,
Yamaha.
Oh.
I paid like $3,000 for it.
Jesus.
This reminds me, before we go any further, I read a neuroplasticity book, and they did a little anecdote about a pianist that got so good at piano, and they were able to move their fingers so fast
they made a movie
that
about
their brains fused their two fingers together, because in their mind, their brain, their index finger and middle finger were just so fast in tandem.
So it's quantum.
The brain almost thought that those two fingers were just one finger.
Yeah.
So they got so good at piano that their fingers that were side by side, the neuroplasticity of their brain just like fused those fingers together, and they weren't able to move them at like separate rhythms.
Yeah.
But they got so good that they got so bad.
That's amazing.
That is.
it's quantum entanglement.
It's all quantum entanglement.
Quantum entfingerment.
That's exactly
digital,
what it
it's
is.
Digital quantum entanglement.
Digits. I see what you did there.
Man. Yes.
Oh man.
Well, guys.
Oh, I don't even know. Yeah.
Well, and then another thing that reminded me of, I think there's like a VH1 thing about how Vanilla Ice ripped off David Bowie's Under Pressure.
Oh, absolutely.
It recounts him. He goes, no, his goes, yeah. His goes, dun, 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 and then he goes,
Mine
ours goes, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. He had a good case there.
Remember Milli Vanilli too? Oh my God.
Dude, the lip singing, yeah.
Yes.
Blame it on the rain.
That was the original, like, oh, you're fired.
Yeah. Hoaxsters. Phonies, frauds, and hucksters.
Oh, phony frauds and hucksters. That's our next show, guys.
Yep. Yeah, so we're going to have Denver Michaels on next week.
Yeah, he's a massive cryptid researcher, and he's going to join the crowd here, man, and we're going to have some fun with him for sure.
Yeah. And James, we got the Grimerica Grelian Fandango coming up.
Is it happening?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Should be in a couple weeks. So we'll keep you
Excellent.
posted exactly on dates with that.
Is it a show or a thing?
It's like a YouTube show that they do every year.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Guess who I saw on Leak Project tonight?
Ooh, who?
Trish.
Wall Thornhill.
No way.
Really?
Oh,
I know.
I wanted to start doing.
He sent me the message like, "Hey, are you bored?" And then he sent me the link. I'm like, I was just watching Wall.
God, I did a little YouTube hang last night, and I looked up a few things, but it wasn't. I have 5 things running through my brain right now that I want to talk about. Right when you said that, I'm like, okay. I was like, I want to do like this week in the EU type thing, like. Just
that'd be cool.
Just because I'm a Electric Universe guy, and at the same, So I mean, there's always.
What about the Drywall Universe, James?
Drywall Universe is gonna be. It's a work in progress.
I like that.
Just like in your house.
Exactly.
But
everywhere you look, it's drywall. I mean, there's a lot involved with this. And then if you peel back the drywall, you can see the inner workings of the universe. I'm telling you. Yes. And then
the Matrix code.
So I have I want to do the Electric Universe. I need to record a whole thing on the Drywall Universe series, and it's gonna blow minds. It might be a new thing for sure. And then if we can get some good traction on that, it might turn into something pretty fun. And then God.
You need some investors. You gotta get some investors.
Some investors, yes. We're gonna go we're diving deep.
Lowe's.
It's gonna be
Menards.
like the Oak Island thing. We're just gonna keep digging and searching. And we're gonna find little Gibson nuggets. Yeah. And you never know what you're gonna find when you peel back the layer.
Never know.
So I wanted to. I love the Electric Universe stuff, and it's such a it's so in depth. If any listeners, a lot of our tens and tens of listeners,
dozens. Let's just say dozens.
Let's just say dozens. Yeah, I'm gonna go with dozens because it sounds bigger than tens.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, thanks for everyone listening, and I just I love everybody out there. I love everyone that feels like they want to tune in, and especially now we're doing. We teamed up with some really great people. Shout out to Mike and Joe from OBDM and Adam Loyal for running the entire stream for Grimerica.ca/FM. Shit, man. Yeah, thanks, Grimerica, Darren, and Graham. Graham, you're not getting your sword back. Yeah, there's a thing involved with that. I don't know. I mean, there's just so much fun. I love doing this.
There it is. Love and light.
Yeah,
Jerry, Felix, love you
Graham
guys.
got
Suzanne, thank you so much for coming on. Love you.
Oh,
Graham
what's
got
that,
upset.
Felix?
Guys.
I platonically love you guys.
Ah, yeah.
That's great.
Jared,
Okay.
thanks for sharing the
For
room with
Graham
me
on
at
me.
Crypticon.
Dude, anytime.
Yeah, sorry.
Since you pass out in the bathroom downstairs, it doesn't matter. You know, you're not there half the time.
It was funny because I was driving around before the show, and that was on the stream.
The Crypticon, yeah.
The recap of Crypticon. It was
This is another shout out for Adam Loyal.
Yes,
because dude's going to get Nox Mente on the stream one of these days.
he will. Yeah, yeah.
So thank you, Adam, for that.
Well, it'll be there. Sweet.
Oh, it's just so much fun.
I'll be there.
It's all happening.
Yes.
It's all
Thanks for
happening.
listening,
It is,
guys.
dude. There's fucking asteroids coming. What did I just read today?
Oh no!
Yeah, asteroids coming.
Look, hold on. This is
Grand
crazy.
solar
There's something
minimum.
crazy coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Guru.
Spit it out. Spit it out. Yeah.
I don't
There's
know.
something crazy coming. Hold on.
Saturn and Jupiter are going to conjunct.
Yeah,
We're
right.
going to meet up.
Wait, who?
It's going to be
what
crazy
did you-
times.
Oh, it was the Yellowstone warning. Okay, I love that these are two in like
Oh, that's
in London papers. You know, Yellowstone volcano explosion warning.
Oh, brother.
Really? Yeah, they've been talking about that forever, I feel.
Well, it's heightened now. And then there's a solar storm predicted for tomorrow that threatens a blackout, allegedly.
Oh, really? For tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh,
A solar storm.
That's what it says.
That's
The sun
assuming
is
space
dead.
is even real. I mean, come on.
Well, if you listen
Well,
to
it's going through its 22 year
the
cycle.
Galactic Federation says that the sun is
Okay, not the
turning-
Galactic Federation.
it's wait, it's interesting. They're saying that it's inverting, and the magnetic poles are going to flip on the sun. And it's
Oh
going,
no!
It's going through a different cycle. It's changing from this cycle to the next, which those people's things, which is whatever crazy, coincides with the solar minimum ending and the solar maximum beginning. So it is a new cycle beginning.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a new cycle beginning, and there's pole flip every 11 years.
Something like that. So that could instigate a pole flip
there's
here because our poles are already drifting.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, then there's airspace that's being closed all over the place, and there's some EMP attack warning.
I don't believe EMPs are real.
You know, it's funny.
I don't either.
think a pole flip is actually harmful in any way. It might
I don't
screw up
think so
the
either.
animals who are magnetically sensitive, but I don't think.
Sure, I think that's a nature thing, right? So, and when you see these groups of birds flying around in signal patterns, and
Well, we're
I would think that that's
magnetically sensitive
3G,
animals.
4G signal.
we are, right? Yeah. What about us?
I heard someone this week, I don't remember if it was credible person or not, but they said that they ran some 5G test in Sweden last week, and they turned it on, and the minute they turned it on, like a flock of birds died, dropped dead nearby.
I heard that.
Well, yeah, because these are all ground-based connections instead of satellite, which is this whole 5G thing, which is kind of funny, right?
Dude, satellites are fake. What are you talking about? All the ground-based electronics. Everything's connected down in Antarctica.
Oh,
And
my
it
God.
only-
Oh my God.
And it only makes common sense.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's the whole juice.
It does. What's more likely? There's 50,000 satellites flying around up there.
No, not at all, dude. Yeah. I love that's what I was diving into last night. I was working on a Felix, I was working on a Photoshop project that wasn't yours, but somebody else's.
Hey.
And so I had YouTube playing, and I was like, man, you know what? I want to dive. I just want to throw something on and see what's going on in UFO culture, just because, like, is there anything cool? And I found a couple cool things, and then I looked back to my couple things that I like Jason Goodman, and so I haven't checked him out in a while. Dude, he had on who the hell was it? Oh shit. Don't go back. It was like his newest one. I'll tell you one second. No, it was about false flags and government creating, and also about
David Hawkins.
Dawkins, yeah. So he had him and he was like an ex like CIA or NSA, something like that, like director. But he was on there. He's just explaining, like, dude, they can go. They have like government has everything you ever do. They can say you looked at something and you're fucked, and they'll create anything and just destroy you, which pretty much we already kind of figured out. But just in general, but just they're talking about like, so yeah, he was just saying, oh, they can literally just set up shit and make it look like something else. And I'm just thinking, the Vegas shooting, like stuff like that. Talking about terrorism in the U.S. type deal. And then I went down a David Wilcock like pseudo rabbit hole.
Jesus.
He has a dude that's with him, that Emery Smith. I'm sure you guys have heard about him, right? Yeah, and he's pretty interesting cat, dude. He might be the most legit dude out of anybody that associated with. But that's another thing. I like to dive a little deeper about that guy and figure out what he's all about. But he's got some pretty gnarly information too. I mean, like, he's a little like skittish. I don't think he likes the limelight that much yet. I mean, he
probably just hates lying to all these people because Shilcock's putting him up to it.
Yeah, I mean, if he's lying, his story, like how many times can you tell that story? I guess when you have your handler with you a lot, aka David Wilcock, it might help him out a little bit. The last one I watched, it looked like he was a little drunk, but like, which was that Contact in the Desert. It was like like him and Wilcock, and Wilcock's got, his standard like cult shirt on, and Emery Smith has got like this like, it looks like a SWAT like bulletproof vest, but with like no sleeves or anything. So it's like just a vest. He's just rocking muscles. Like he's explaining like, yeah, fucking man, I worked on like 3,000 alien specimens and da 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 da. I mean, the dude's got some gnarly stories, and he said he's got technology and he's got all of this shit, just like all of David Wilcock's buddies. They all got something, right? They all got hidden technology and hidden and suppressed medical like that's what Emery was all about. He worked in the medical aspect of things, and he's with stem cells and shit. Mm-hmm. And he developed a bunch of like, I mean, he said that he was basically fucking multi-millionaire, and now he's broke and living in his fucking car because he's been battling courts about some inventions and shit that he had made, and now they're making fun of him because he believes in aliens and shit. Like the court system, he was like, yeah, I was in court, and they're like, so you believe in aliens? And they're all laughing at him and shit. So, it's the whole discredit, this whatever, but I mean, how do you discredit a discreditor? At the same time. So I'm just thinking, like, what's up with this guy? So I don't know. I'd like to dig a little deeper. That was my little rabbit hole run last night, and I haven't really trolled the YouTube in a while, and so I did that for like 2 hours, maybe or so last night, and that's what I went across: Goodman and Emery Smith. So
binging on these two.
What do you? Oh, I fired up Sabrina last night.
Yeah.
Holy shit, you guys! Oh my god.
See?
Oh my god, it's super dark, super weird, super creepy. At the same time, like, I mean, yeah, there's some young actors in it, but they're portrayed totally different. I mean, it's crazy as fuck. But yeah, I watched the first episode, and I'm already ready to like go fire it up in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, like the second episode, she turned 16. Everyone's 16 around her.
Yeah, that's what's weird. That it's all about their 16th birthday, and she's supposed to take the dive in. It's weird. The one dude's like, yeah, I've been here for like 35 years or some shit. Yeah, he's like 8. He's like 16. They're like, you stay like 16 forever or something. It's so weird.
They age.
Yeah, they age like super slow. Yeah,
like 25 to 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so weird. So, but yeah, and of course she's like in love with some dude, and like she doesn't. Yeah, she didn't know what she wants to do.
She has to be initiated before she can become a witch and get that immortality.
Yeah, she's got like 5 days. I can't believe like what's gonna happen in 5 days in this show. But yeah, oh my god, interesting, man. And I did fall. I felt it was late, dude. It was like 3:00 when I started that, so I fell asleep about 3:40. So I missed the end of it. But
you should just work on my logo instead.
Well, that's what I was telling you, dude. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Everybody. Anyway, we're running fine. We're having fun, and
are we still live?
We're still live.
Oh.
Definitely, dude. There's nothing going on except Grimerica live,
baby.
But yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Hey,
it's been a great night.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm done.
We're gonna have to go to sleep.
Yeah, you gotta sleep.
Good night, guys.
You can use my
Bye, guys.
You can use my time capsule song.
Okay, I'll throw that on at the end.
Yeah, we gotta play that. Yeah.
Good call. All right.
Yeah.
We're off.
Nice.
Boom. Okay. Great.
And podcast.
To rewind.